Okay, let's grab the cards, ruffle, shuffle them, give them a good shuffle again, and let's ask what's happening in the world of Trumpenstein today. What's happening in the world of Trump today? Now we know that Mikey has closed down anything from, the House. They're all going on vacation, so they don't have to deal with this at the moment. But I guess there was something with the Democrats in the Senate trying to get this stuff released. But, Trump said, oh yeah, we're going to release it. Anything, but scrub my name. I'll take all my stuff out because that's all fake, take that out. But what was it? Release the pertinent stuff, or release it was something to do with the clarification of, anything that doesn't have to do with me. So, yeah. Anything that doesn't have to do with Trump. So, let's go see what's under the surface here. Yeah. Now, this is usually my card for democracy. It's also the card for, like, Yeshua ben Joseph, the actual teachings. It's also about the rulership of emotions. In this case, I would say more, it has to do with the rulership of emotions. Also my card for democracy, but we'll see the readings about that. But I would say in this context, it's about the emotional underlying and how it's affecting his mind and his actions, because he's covered over, the emotions are covered over with his mind, and then the actions that he takes. Okay. So the energy coming into it is the strength. What's being strengthened? Today, it's about the light being shed or being dimmed, as the case may be. We'll have to see what it is. The challenge is a message that's coming out about how they're trying to skew it, truth or mental realm. Potential outcome is not good. Potential outcome is the swords are coming down. He can't get away from this truth. Outside influence is the wealthy Republicans, etc. So let's go ahead and shuffle these again, and we'll just see what it says about this. So when it comes to this rulership of emotions, a victory going forward, victory of action, when it comes to a manipulation. See? So he's very good at manipulating his emotional drama. It's all about manipulation. Okay? He thinks he'll be victorious if he keeps putting out these manipulations. Okay? Unbelievable. The energy coming into it is strengthening what? The loss. Now there is a victory when it comes to this emotional loss, which he's doing everything in his power to manipulate. And the loss of what? Leadership. Strengthening this loss of leadership is coming today. So we have this bouncing back and forth. He's trying to do all he can to continue to manipulate the things that are coming out by what? Blaming Obama. Obama stole the election. Obama, is it anything he can to distract from this? But the energy coming into it is strengthening this loss when it comes to his leadership. So he's going downhill, although he's doing everything he can to try to override it. So there's more light today being shed on what it was offered, okay? What was being offered, and an agreement. More light on some offerings, agreements on that, what's taking place. The challenge is the message when it comes to the family, okay, trying to convince the Magatonians, okay, trying to put out that message and trying to figure out the next move going forward. So that's the challenge. What can I put out there to distract the Magatonians and keep them on my side? Potential outcome, the swords are out, and this is rapidly moving. When it comes to the pedophilia, okay? The swords are out. So he's doing all he can to try to spin the narrative and convince himself that he can have a victory spinning this, okay? That he can manipulate democracy, that he can continue to do that. But unfortunately for him, these swords are coming out. It's coming to a head, the climax rapidly about the pedophilia, okay? So the outside influence is the wealthy, the Republicans, the fishtails. They've been out there putting out there the lies, the spin, the feeling embattled with this, with a new action. When it comes to the women coming forward, okay, and this manufacturing the truth, manufacturing the mental state of drama, okay? So yeah, they're being told, what was it? Oh, anything that they ask you about Epstein or anything, go immediately into Obama stole the election. That's what he's telling them to say. The minute they ask you about Epstein and the truth and the overarching truth of what's going on, you spin it to Obama immediately. Yeah, lie. So the four corners, trying to control the emotions, but the swords are out. The truth is raining down on the pedophilia and the manipulations. That's what's happening to him today. Yeah. So the foundation is manipulation by leadership with an agreement on trying to figure out the next move when it comes to the pedophilia. Okay? So there's trying to have a victory, but facing loss with all the things that are being shared. And when it comes to the Magatonian and what's rapidly developing. It's trying to control the emotions, strengthening this light with a message that he's putting out there, but unfortunately what's happening with that is the swords are coming out. The very center of it is what is being shared. There's light and disagreement with what's being shared. There's a loss of Magatonians. He's starting to lose his base more and more. Strengthening what's being shared, figuring out the next move. And again, he's going to try to continue to put a message from himself as to what's being shared. When it comes to facing loss, there is a victory in what's being shared. And I don't think the victory on what's being shared is from his side. There's a strengthening of the loss of his leadership. More is coming out. There's a loss when it comes to controlling the emotions and this agreement that people have. And he's going to continue to try to manipulate from the truth coming out, the light. When it comes to the Magatonians, things are being shared rapidly. Messages are coming out, figuring out the next move. More light is coming out on the pedophilia and the agreement when it comes to the swords of truth coming down. So he's, as much as he's trying to, confuse them, more and more is coming out. He's losing more and more of his base. Okay? He continues to think he can spin it, but that's not what's happening. He's facing loss after loss after loss, and more is being shared when it comes to the conservative right, or the rest of the QAnon crazies. More is being shared, and he's going down the tubes. So let's go ahead and shuffle these, and we'll do a clarifying read and see what else it has to say when it comes to the drama today for Trumpenstein. He keeps trying to spin the narrative, and anything that says you just go back to Obama. You blame it on Obama. Obama did this, Obama did that. He had the one video of Obama being arrested and, in his fantasy world. But let's see what we have at the center of all of this. Yeah, it's this the dark drama. The fake Christianity, if you will. Authoritarian leadership. The light and charging forward. Okay, so he's going to continue to try to spin this. So the light and his dark or authoritarian nonsense, again, we have his dark mentality of his craziness, shedding light on that, his fantasy. When it comes to this charging forward with club in hand, figuring out the next move, and his desires pushing these narratives, okay, of this dark government that he's tried to construct. What's being birthed in America? The light on his craziness. The swords are coming out when it comes to this charging forward of actions, the fight and actions, and figuring out the next move. And it's going to temper his desires when it comes to the dark government. It's going to continue to be tempered. Coming into it, we have the burden of some new path. The new concrete things that are coming out, opening up when it comes to his love life, his drama, and the wheel is turning on that. Okay? So they're not getting away with it. Okay? Outside influence. We have, again, Republicans. When it comes to the ultimate truth, trying to control it. For the Magatonians, juggling this, but finding that they are out, okay, out in the cold. When it comes to real spirituality, they were going to get rid of the dark cabal, okay? The dark cabal, juggling that. And now they find out that this, narrative, they are the dark cabal. Above it, this is the tower moment for them. Overarching thing, it's a tower moment. Crash and burn. When it comes to Republican, the wealthy, the agenda, they're attempting to control the mentality, the manipulation of the Magatonians. by juggling this, but they are out in the cold, okay? They're outside the church, they were going to expose this. They were all lusting after this, thinking that it was the Democrats that are Satan-worshiping, cannibalistic, pedophiles. But guess who was there? Great leader, okay? The one they put their trust in. And so now it's in crash and burn mode, okay? So yeah, burden of this new concrete evidence coming forward when it comes to the past dalliances. The wheel has turned. The dark government trumpering, this stuff is coming out. And the spiritual aspect of tempering his desires, what he's trying to sell. The light on his craziness he's trying to convince America of. But unfortunately for him, the night is charging forward, club in hand, with the new, trying to figure out the new action. But the swords are out en masse. So again, today is more of the same. He's trying to spin the narrative. Whenever they say Epstein, Epstein, I can't even talk this morning. You say Obama. You spin it to Obama. Obama, and Biden, the crime family Biden and the Obamas, and they stole the election, and that's what you should be looking at. Why are you looking here? Why are you looking at Epstein? He's gone. I mean, there's nothing to see anymore here, So he's continuing to try to spin the narrative, getting more and more angry because people are not going to let it go. Okay? You need to stop and not look at that at all. And they're going to continue to ask and continue to look. And the more they do, the more he's getting rattled and trying to figure out something that he can throw in the mix, that he can throw under the bus, that he can sacrifice as a sacrificial lamb to get him off the hook. But there's nothing there that he can throw under the bus and sacrifice to make himself look better. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online. We'll see if the cards are right or wrong. Thanks for tuning in.